Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to Black Desiderium. Happy Valentine's Day to all the lovers in the world. Today we'll be discussing Season 1, Episode 16 of The Proud Family, I Love You, Penny Proud. The episode starts with Zoe, La Cienega, and Dejanay gushing over their Valentine's Day gifts. We see that Penny is a little salty and she's just like, Valentine's Day is whatever. And she kind of criticizes each one of their gifts, and which is understandable for Dejanay because her gift was a rock that Sticky threw at her. But they were all happy about their gifts, and that's all that mattered. Now, Dejanay and La Cienega, they said, Penny, stop hating on us because you empty-handed. Once they said that, Sticky ran up and told them, come see this, y'all have to see this. They walked over to the school and they saw in big hot pink letters of spray paint, I love Penny Proud, and it was a picture of her face painted on the school. Penny was smitten. She was like, that's tight, I like that, until their loud principal called Penny and the gang into his office and he started interrogating them one by one to see what information they had, who did this, but of course none of them knew. He wasn't satisfied with that answer, so he made them drop and give him 10, and he was treating them like they was in boot camp. That's how he act like a drill sergeant. So he ended up suspending them. That's crazy to me. Why are they getting suspended? They don't know, but he didn't believe that they didn't know. So he suspended them. While they were sitting at a bus stop, they saw multiple buses drive past with Penny's face painted on them, her name, I love Penny Proud, and these are the city buses, not school buses. Penny still thinks it's cute as she's seeing her face pass by on all these city buses. And La Cienega has to bring her back down to reality, like, girl, we're suspended. What are we going to do? So Sticky, you know, he's into gadgets and a computer whiz. So he's like, don't worry. When students are suspended, the principal sends an automated voice message home for the parents to know that their child has been suspended. But Sticky hacked into the system and made a voicemail say that they won an award. We don't know what type of award, we don't even know what it's for, but he sent the voicemail home. They're all relieved, but they're like, we're still suspended. We still can't go to school until we find out who this person is. So Penny is like, let's meet at the bus yard tonight and let's catch the culprit red-handed. Everybody is like, we don't know. We got stuff to do. It's gonna be dark. We don't know if this person is crazy. So Penny is like, you know what? I'm gonna go by myself and I'm gonna figure this out by myself. At the house, Oscar walks up behind who he thinks is Trudy, but the person turns around and it's a chef, a crazy looking chef. And Oscar's like, Trudy, why would you hire a chef when you know I made dinner reservations for us, which he didn't, of course. Why are all the husbands so thoughtless on all these shows, even in the cartoons? But Oscar got on the phone and acted like he was canceling their fake dinner reservations when the phone rung in the middle of him talking. And it was the school with the automated voicemail saying Penny Proud won the award. As soon as Oscar got off the phone, Penny ran down the stairs and said, bye family, I'm going to the mall with my friends. But Oscar said, come here, stop right there. I just got a call from your school. So Penny was about to go into full confession mode until her dad congratulated her and said, why didn't you tell me you won an award? And Trudy was like, an award? Okay, for what? That's good. We could see the relief in Penny. And she was like, oh no, that award, it's nothing. It's nothing serious. And as she tries to go out the door, Trudy stops her and say, hey, I need you to watch the twins tonight. Of course, Penny's like, Ma, what? But she was like, can Sugar Mama watch them? She said, no, Sugar Mama got a Valentine's Day date today too. So we really need you to watch the twins. So Penny's like, okay. She goes upstairs. She sings BB and CC a lullaby that end up putting her to sleep and the babies to sleep. She wakes up and she sneaks out the window. She goes to the bus yard. Now, by this time, it's dark and it's kind of creepy. So she hears somebody say, hey, what are you doing? And she turns around and it's her friends. She's relieved, she's happy, and she like, oh my God, y'all really are my real friends. I love y'all. I'm so happy that y'all came to help me. Now let's figure out who this is. They start hearing a spray can and they run around the bus. They see a brand new mural of Penny's face. And they look down and they see what they think is 2 bicycle tracks. And of course, La Cienega, she has to say something smart. She says, "There's no way the 2 boys want Penny. Like, how they don't want me?" But they end up hearing a spray can again, and they run around and they catch Johnny McBride from 5th period algebra.
It's Johnny McBride from 5th period algebra.
Johnny McBride is in a wheelchair, which explains the 2 track marks that they thought were 2 bicycles. And Johnny McBride is voiced by Shia LaBeouf. And if you watch Disney Channel back then you know Shia LaBeouf was that dude, for real. Penny snatched the spray can bottle out of Johnny's hand. And right as she did that, the police showed up with a flashlight and they were caught. Now, they took Penny back to her house, so you know Valentine's Day was ruined for her parents. Penny, they was laying the punishment on heavy. She's grounded, she snuck out, and you got caught tagging at a bus yard, even though she wasn't, but that's what it looked like. Trudy and Oscar tried to go back to their Valentine's Day dinner, but when they walked back in the kitchen, Sugar Mama and Poppy had ate all their food. So Oscar said, "I'm not paying the chef." The chef called one of his security guards and put him on Oscar to change his mind. Trudy handed him that check and Oscar got quiet real quick. Trudy was really disappointed because Valentine's Day didn't go as planned and she just wanted to do something nice for her husband. She turned around and said, "Okay, where's my gift?" And Oscar gave her an envelope. Trudy got disappointed instantly because she already knows the games that he played. But when she opened it, she saw that it was 2 tickets to a ski resort, so she got so happy. Sugar Mom was like, "Girl, boo, the prices go down after Valentine's Day weekend. That's why he got it the next weekend." But Trudy was so happy, she didn't even care what Sugar Mom was talking about. She asked Oscar if Sugar Mama and the kids could go on the trip as well. And Oscar was like, "No, it's supposed to be just me and you," but Trudy convinced him to let all the family go. Oscar cheap self said, "Okay, if the kids is going, just know this is Christmas, birthday, and Valentine's Day gift." Back at school, the drill sergeant principal tells the gang that they have all been reinstated and that Johnny McBride made a full confession. Penny asks the principal what Johnny McBride's consequences is going to be. And the principal pretty much says that all Johnny has to do is apologize. Dejanay is like, "Oh no, we want reparations. We need our 40 acres and a mule because this is not fair." But the principal is like, "Listen, that's all he has to do and he will get sent back to class." Johnny rolls into the principal's office and he says, "I'm sorry," and just rolls off. And that was enough for the principal. As they were going back to class, Penny stopped Johnny in the hallway and asked him why did he do that. And Johnny said he's always loved her and he wanted to get her attention. Penny says, "That was sweet, but you went about it the wrong way." Back at the house, and Penny is telling Trudy and Sugar Mama how this boy asked her to be his girlfriend and she said yes only because she felt bad for him. And Trudy's like, "Now, Penny, you know how your dad is about boys and he don't play that." Oscar ran out the room and said, "Boyfriend? Oh no, you know you can't have no boyfriend." And it was a knock at the door. Penny said, "That's him," but the way she said it was just so funny.
"That's him now. We have a study date."
"Not anymore."
Oscar went to the door on 10, but when he saw Johnny was in a wheelchair, he went down to a 1. Later on in the week, we see Penny on a video chat with her friends, and she's complaining about Johnny, saying that she just can't take him no more. He's been over her house nonstop, calling her, emailing her, sending her letters, and she just couldn't take it anymore. He was a bugaboo for real. Zoe was the only one that gave her logical advice, saying, "Why don't you just tell Johnny that you don't really like him or you don't want to be his girlfriend? You could just be friends." Penny was like, "Well, I don't want to hurt his feelings." Just as she was wrapping up her conversation with her friends, we hear a knock at the door. Oscar is yelling up the stairs that Johnny is back. So Penny had to end her call with her friends, and Oscar's downstairs. He asked Johnny if he needs anything, just let him know, and Johnny took full advantage of that. He says, "Oh yes, I would like a root beer float." Like, boy, where you think you at a diner? Oscar tells Johnny that he's going to go in the kitchen and try to find something, but if they don't have the ingredients, then he'll go to the store. Oscar was bending backwards for Johnny, making sure that he was okay. So he goes into the kitchen and Johnny yells, "I only like French vanilla ice cream." So he got special requests. So when Oscar went in the kitchen, Sugar Mama was like, "I'm so tired of that boy. Why are you letting him just take advantage of you? That's what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing." Trudy is like, "Sugar Mama, well, he's special, so we have to treat him like everybody else." And Sugar Mama makes a valid point, saying, "Well, if you treat him like everybody else, then he would have been thrown out of here a long time ago, because y'all don't even let Penny have a boyfriend. So why is he even able to come up in here how he's been in here?" Sugar Mama says that Johnny has worn out his welcome, and Oscar says, "Well, you have too, because when are you going home?" But Oscar says, "You know what, I'm just happy that we're taking this family trip tomorrow, and we going skiing, and we can ski Johnny up out of our heads. Right as he said that, Johnny rolls in the kitchen and says, "Oh, y'all going skiing? I would love to go skiing." The cat got Oscar tongue because he didn't say anything. Where was Johnny's parents? Because how you going on a ski trip? You've been at her house the whole week. Like, where's Johnny's parents? They just let him go anywhere. We see Penny and Johnny on the slopes, and Johnny tells Penny to give him a push. Penny is like, okay, she's trying to say on your mark, get set. But before she can even finish her sentence, Johnny says, just push me, with an attitude. So she's like, okay. Penny is obviously annoyed with him. She gives him a push, and Johnny falls straight over out of his ski chair. And Penny tries to help him up, and he says, I don't need or want your help. Penny's like, okay, and Johnny continues to struggle. Then Penny helps him up, and he says, well, I'm not going to say thank you. After that, Trudy and Oscar ski over there and say, hey kids, are y'all having fun? And Penny is like, yeah, sure, we're having fun. But her face said, save me. Johnny says, no, I'm not having fun. I'm tired of these baby slopes, and I want to go down the big slopes with y'all. And Oscar's like, Johnny, I don't think you're ready for that. Johnny disrespectfully challenges Oscar to a ski race down the big slopes. And Oscar's like, you know what, I'm about to teach this little boy something. But Trudy is like, no, come on. And she pulls Oscar away. So Johnny tells Penny, I'm going to beat him. And he was so determined. And Penny is like, why are you in competition? We're on vacation. Please calm down. It's not that serious. And Johnny is like, are you going to keep running your mouth, or are you going to push me? And Penny is like, boy, she pushed him and he fell again. Sugar Mama pulled up with the twins on a ski mobile and said, hey Penny, you want to ride with us to a marshmallow roasting? And Penny said, yes, Sugar Mama, please get me away from him. She hopped on the ski mobile and they rode off into the sunset. Johnny finds his way to the big slopes and challenges Oscar once again. Oscar takes him up on the challenge this time, and they start going down this big hill with a whole bunch of trees. They weaving in and out of the trees, and Oscar ends up running straight into a tree. Family is back home, and Oscar is all bandaged up. And Sugar Mama walks in the house, and she's like, that boy ruined our trip. He just need to get up out of here. And Johnny rolls through the door and says something disrespectful to Sugar Mama. Sugar Mama steps to him and say, you know what, little boy, I've had enough of you. And Penny pushes Sugar Mama back and say, I got this, Sugar Mama. She breaks up with Johnny. She tells him, you disrespected my whole family. You're not nice. You're very disrespectful, very rude. I just don't want anything to do with you. Johnny tries to say, it's because of my wheelchair, isn't it? He tries to use his wheelchair.
Thought you were my girlfriend. I know. It's my wheels, right?
No! Your wheels aren't the reason I don't like you. But they are the reason I said I'd be your girlfriend. That and because I felt sorry for you, but I don't anymore. You need a personality check, Johnny. You're rude, obnoxious.
Then he tries to use reverse psychology and says, wow, nobody has ever told me off like that. I want to be with you even more. I love you even more, Penny. And she's like, boy, step. And she slammed the door right in his face. Penny turns around and apologizes to her family and says, I'm sorry that I was just rude like that and put him out. But her family was all proud of her. They was like, Penny, you did what needed to be done. We're proud of you. You know, never get with somebody because you feel bad for them. You can't be with somebody because of a wheelchair. You have to be with them because of their personality, their character, and make sure that things are aligned. This episode was always so funny to me. And of course, it's not because Johnny was in a wheelchair, because it's nothing funny about that. It was more so his attitude and the way he spoke, because it's like, boy, who you talking to like that? The family, they bit their tongue for as long as they could until, you know, it got to a point. Rewatching this episode for this video after all these years still gave me the same exact feeling. I was between laughing and saying, boy, who you talking to? I would have been interested to see Johnny's parents, to see how they interact with each other. Does Johnny disrespect his parents? Do they cater to his every need? Where is he getting his attitude from? That would have been interesting to see. Let me know your thoughts on this video. Have you ever dated someone because you felt bad for them? And what do you think Penny could have did differently? If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching. Bye.